motivation for the coming week. It's been a nice day for me personally because I I came through to some very insightful realizations and stuff, some deep stuff. So it's been a good day for me. And you may have already noticed that we are ending this course. We are kind of getting to the end of it. But there are still some important things we would have to look at. So the coming days we'll be using the time to look at those things, and we'll also be using the time to answer questions and do some kind of coaching, some sort of mentorship for those who have already created their seller profiles and their gigs. Okay, and then we'll share ideas, and gradually we'll bring everything to a close. So welcome, and if you have any questions before we begin, just leave it in the comments. Let me take my time to try and answer your questions. If you have none, we'll proceed to today's topics. But today, what we are going to be doing is we are going to be talking about consistency. Okay, consistency on Fiverr. Yesterday we spoke about tips to get your first order. Okay, we spoke about buy requests, link sharing, social media groups, and some other strategies. And I like the feedback I got because it seems that what we are sharing over here is extremely valuable. Okay, these are things I did myself. Some I've done further research into, and those who have used it, are very profitable now, selling gigs on Fiverr. My sister, I haven't really done much since I, introduced her to Fiverr and told her some of my strategies, and she's already almost at $2,000. Okay, and some of my other friends have helped. They are making money on the platform. There's one guy, when I first got onto the platform and I introduced him to it, he didn't really believe it was something worthwhile because of the fact that in the beginning stages you need to put in a lot of work to get your first orders. He just didn't have the patience for that sort of thing, and so he gave up on it. When I made my first $1,000, I shared it with him, and he was amazed. And that was when he was reinvigorated to come on the platform and then put in the work he should have put in the first place. You understand? He was looking for a job at the time. Later, he got one that was paying him 700 cedis. Now he pays himself from Fiverr 3,000 cedis every month. Okay, as a side hustle. So take all these things seriously. Take them, as I give them to you. Feel free to tweak them. Feel free to experiment with them, merge them, however you would use them to your advantage. Feel free. These are not strategies and tips such as cast in stone. Okay, you understand? They are not dogmatic strategies. I'm recommending them because they work for me, but you must feel free to experiment on the platform using these and adding your own strategies to see what works for you. As I said yesterday, these are things you're only going to be doing in the beginning stages because once your profile or your account takes off, you're good. You're good. So today we are going to be talking about consistency on Fiverr, interacting with clients, tools to improve your work, delivering good orders, and then how to communicate with customer support. Okay, so with tools to improve your work, maybe we'll focus on transcription and then some other areas. I think someone contacted me from the group, okay, that the transcription software isn't working for him. So maybe I'll do a quick demo on how to use it so that the person will be able to follow through on it. But if there are any questions, any contributions, anything you feel I'm leaving out, please feel free to leave it in the comments and then I'll respond to you. So I think we'll give about 5 minutes. If there are any questions from what we've previously done, I'll address them. If there are none, then after the 5 minutes, we go straight into today's session. Someone said he can't see me. Can everyone see me, please? I don't think it's necessary to see me anyway, but if you cannot see me, I think everyone can see me. So, Roy, you may have to check your settings. Okay, so since no one is asking any question, I assume everything is cool, and we want to go right into our slide for today, which has to do with interacting with clients, tools to improve your work, delivering good orders, and then customer support. Much of this intertwines with what we have already treated. So, like I've said, we are not going to spend a very long time on today's session. I know how valuable Saturday weekends are, so we'll keep this as snappy as possible. Now, when I talk about consistency on Fiverr, what I am referring to is how to make sure that Fiverr becomes an every month thing, okay? Not something that in the first month, after implementing all these strategies, you make $1,000 and then in the second month you drop to $0, you drop to $10 because you backslid and all sorts of things. We are talking about how to turn this into something that is going to work for you every month, okay? And there are so many things that come into play when we talk about consistency on Fiverr. So many things: customer relationship, delivering of good orders, tools to improve your work, customer support. So many things contribute to this consistency on the platform. And the first thing we want to look at is how to interact with clients. Okay. The thing you must understand is that, like all other platforms, all other businesses, you are going to encounter human beings on Fiverr with different worldviews, perspectives, and opinions. And your willingness to accommodate them and move along with their rhythm or their energy is going to go a long way in determining how successful you are going to become on the platform. Like I shared with you yesterday, there have been occasions when I have had, misunderstandings with clients, many of which were not my fault, but the client's fault. But based on how I handled the situation, they were moved or inspired to keep working with me. Okay. So the good thing about excellent customer relationship is that even if you don't provide an A-class service, because of the kind of service you rendered, because you made your client feel like a king or a queen, they'll be willing to come back to you and even help you improve your service by suggesting what it is you can do to improve. Okay, as compared to someone who was or who is very very good at what he does but has bad customer service, bad human relationship, techniques and all of that. Of course, you may have the technical know-how, but no one wants to be treated like trash. And you find that some people who are very talented will not be good in business because they drive people away. Fiverr is not a platform that you want to be driving people away. So it's important that you humble yourself and you learn how to interact with clients. Generally, the pattern for interacting with clients who meet you or who text you for the first time is thanking them for contacting you and considering you for this amazing opportunity to work together. Okay, then going on to ask them what it is they need from you. Okay, and then you take it from there. Getting a 5-star rating on Fiverr largely depends on that first impression you are going to leave the client. Like they say, first impressions are lasting impressions. So that first impression is very, very important. And when the client messages you, it's important that you learn how to communicate in a way that you are putting out a very good first impression. All right. I want to share some examples from my screen. Let's take Abigail. Can everyone see my screen? Emmanuel says he can't see my screen. That's weird. Yeah, I'll be done with the samples this evening and then I'll send them to you. I've been a bit engaged today, so I didn't have the opportunity to finish the samples and send them over to you, but I will definitely send over the samples. Let me see if I can share my screen. I hope everyone can see. So what I want to do now is to share my communication style with my clients. This was a recent encounter with a client, Abigail. And she said, "Dear Joel, I'm beginning on a new book. I will be needing transcription services. Are you still available? Could you send me an offer? Thank you so much. Right now, I have approximately 2.5 hours worth of material that needs transcription. One clip is 1 hour and 33 minutes. One clip is 45 minutes. Thank you. I look forward to working with you again. Fondly, Abigail." So I sent her a message. I said, of course, I created the offer for her, $45. And I said, "Dear Abigail, I'm so excited to hear from you. Yes, I'm available and will be happy to work on your new project. I have been following you on Twitter and I want to use this opportunity to encourage you. Please ignore the backlash from all that is irrelevant. The truth always prevails. Good luck and I look forward to working with you again too. Fondly, Joel." So if you are interested in the background of this particular message, Abigail did some extensive research in medical science about gender dysphoria and transgenderism, and she published her findings in a book. So her last project I was working on were actually audio recordings with experts, professors, doctors, scientists, and that was what I was transcribing for her. She put all of that together and she wrote a very impressive book, okay, very insightful book. And you know how our society is today. No one accepts the truth. No one, people are very myopic in their understanding of this world. So she's had backlash, and I was trying to encourage her. So she responded saying, "Hi, Joel, is this your new rate for everyone? It's a lot more than I can do. I know you're amazing. I'm just not sure I can do this." Fondly, Abigail. So you can see right here that there was some sort of misunderstanding, okay? Because she's used to paying $20 for 1 hour, and over here I had sent an offer for $45. So I then had to explain myself. I said, "Hi Abigail, this is not a new rate. 1 hour is still $20. You mentioned that you had 2.5 hours. That's why I sent an offer for $45. But I'm ever ready to revise it and go with what you are comfortable with." Okay. So you see, I didn't get angry, I didn't get irritated or something. I just explained, and I was even willing to compromise. Okay, you are seeking to keep clients, you are seeking to maintain the good relationship you've had. You should be willing to sometimes compromise. Okay, so later she responded. Let me show you the order. View order. So she responded saying, "Hi Joel, okay, I just sent it. Thanks so much, fondly, Abigail." Because now she understood where I was coming from. Okay, let me share with you other messages with clients. From here to here, down here, of late, I've been getting a lot of messages, not from buyers but sellers. Okay, people who have watched my videos on YouTube and who want to also become successful, and they use Fiverr as a way to reach me and ask me to help them, which is wrong because, and don't do that. If you are looking to begin on Fiverr, don't go messaging people telling them that they should place orders with you or they should help you. It's actually against Fiverr's terms and policies. And if their algorithm is able to pick the kind of messages you are sending, they can ban you from the platform. So it's a heads up to you. Usually when they send me a message, sorry, because I don't want to put them in any trouble with Fiverr, I don't respond, okay, so that the machine is not able to pick that conversation. Or if I'm able to, I just tell them that they should reach me on another platform, okay. Let's look for another message. Yes. So this was an encounter with a Scottish client. The last but one order I did for him, I've been working with him for quite some time. The last but one order I did for him, I was very late because of other engagements and I had asked some people to help me, but they couldn't pick his accent the way I could. So they couldn't do the order well and I had to do it myself all over again. Long and short is that I was very late and he wasn't amused at all. But because of the kind of experience he had, I told him that he could cancel the order and I wouldn't charge anything, but I'll still finish up with what is left for me to do. And then I apologized for the kind of inconvenience I had put him through. If I hadn't handled that situation well, Gary would have been so annoyed with me, probably would have reported me to Fiverr, and it may have marked the end of my career as a transcriptionist. But look at how I went about it. So he said, "Hi Joel, I accept you had serious issues with your assistant, and I do wish you the best for the future. I'll compensate for the work you have presented, which I'm using, namely the first three files. I'll compensate you with half compensation of the other files as I have already sent these for a transcription. Therefore, I am suggesting I give you $34. She was supposed to pay me, is it 120 or something? Feel free to create a new order to cover this. I'll accept the cancellation of this order. I hope this is acceptable to you, Joel. And until this order, I was very pleased with your work. Wishing you the very best in your business, Gary." Okay. But later he came back. I didn't hear from him for about a month, and then he came back later. And Gary says, "Hi Joel, I have another book for transcription. After what happened last time, I was unsure about giving this job to you, but your previous work has always been good, so I'm prepared to offer you this job. However, I would like the transcript sent back as soon as the job goes along so I can see the quality and we don't end up with the situation we had the last time, which cost me a lot to get a rush transcription done to get a book published. If you feel this is acceptable to you, then please make an offer of 11 hours of transcription. Regards, Gary." And then I told him, "Hi Gary, thanks so much for considering me again for this opportunity. My apologies again for the great inconvenience I caused you the other time. I'll work hard to ensure it doesn't happen again. Regards, Joel." But the point I want to put across is that if you are able to handle your relationship with your client so well, okay, the way you communicate with them, the way you resolve difficulties, it's going to go a very long way in helping your overall career. Because if you read from the previous message he sent, you think that was the end of my working relationship with Gary. But he came back because I have always delivered good work and he likes the way I interact with him. This was another client The person sent a very horrible audio. You couldn't hear anything at all. But I wasn't angry. I did the job and I explained that the audio was terrible. And he gave feedback. Okay, I was thinking he was going to be very angry that the transcript wasn't well done and blah 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 blah. But he gave good feedback. This vendor has an exceptional facility with English, which is exceeded only by his forthrightness and veracity. He is a delight to work with. Thank you. So he came back again, I think, for more orders. And basically, I think you get the point. Your relationship with your clients is so important. I would love to go through all of these messages with clients, some of them very horrible. Okay, there was one that the lady said she's a priestess of sex. She serves the goddess of sex, wherever that goddess lives. Only her knows. And she asked me whether I will be comfortable transcribing the kind of audio, the video actually she'll be sending. I had to be very professional about it. At that time, I was still a bit, you know, moralistic and religionistic, if there's a word like that. So I was contemplating doing the work for her, but I did it anyway. And when I was done, she was so grateful. She was so grateful because I think she has approached other sellers and they have condemned her. Some have called her Jezebel and all sorts of things. I wish I could play one of her videos. She's really a priestess of sex. That's all I can say. She is really a priestess of sex. So she liked the way that I didn't comment on the fact that she was doing this sort of thing, or I was just very professional about everything. I did the work for her. I corrected all the errors that she needed corrected. And she came back again. She keeps coming back. And I enjoy working for her because each time I learn something new. So please handle your client relationship very, very, very well. It's going to make or unmake you. The next thing we want to delve into today is how to deliver good orders. Okay, how to deliver good orders. And the way to go about it is anytime you make a submission of an order you have done, anytime you hit the deliver order button. So let me give you an example. Anytime you deliver an order, let the client know that you are still open to make corrections on the work. You'll be delighted to make any corrections the client sees fit. Okay, leave no stone unturned in ensuring that you are providing an A-class service to your client. And the way I go about it is when I get onto my order page, like this is the order page, and I'm ready to actually deliver the order, I come up here and I hit the deliver your order button. Okay, and formerly I used to craft my own responses, but now I use a quick response tool. So you click use a quick response. If you can see, use a quick response, and then I use here is your delivery. So if you remember yesterday, I said that all your correspondence with your clients has to be very personal. Okay, so you change this to Abigail because it's in the username that she's Abigail Shah. So you use her first name. Hi Abigail, thanks again for your order. Your delivery is enclosed. If there are any problems, please let me know. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Okay. Formerly, I didn't know this feature was here to like create a template, but now I know. And you can easily find this once you hit the deliver button. You just go to quick response and then this will show up. This will show up. If you have crafted it, you can add it as well. And anytime you need to make a delivery to a client, you can always make reference to it. So you say thanks again and have a great day. And you change this to Joel or Joel's son. Okay. And then you deliver the work. It's important so that the client knows that you are still open and willing to help. And all of these strategies will go into the client's decision to give you an A-star rating, so or a 5-star rating. So it's important you go through them. Something I do, if you remember, I told you that you should avoid sending orders late. Okay, it's important because once you start delivering orders late, the algorithm will abandon you to throw you in the middle of the sea. And the next time you show up on the first page is 40 years later, unless you have already built an established base of clients. Okay, so if you are now beginning on Fiverr, like many of you, you don't want to deliver an order late under any circumstance. And I have a trick to show you. Those days, something I used to do, which is not quite ethical, but I used to do it anyway, was if I have a few hours to deliver the order, but I'm late. If you see there's a timer over here to show you how many minutes or hours or days you have left. So if I realize I have just 1 minute left, I'll go and I'll hit the deliver order button and I'll just present something else. And then when the client messages me back to say that this is not what I ordered, okay, request a revision. Normally, a request for a revision will add an additional day to the work that you have to do. So once the client requests that revision, it means I have more time to deliver the actual order. And when the actual order is ready, I hit the deliver button and then I tell them, hi, thank you so much. I'm sorry for the misunderstanding. It was a wrong delivery and I take absolute responsibility for it. Here is the right delivery. And I hope this incident never happens again. And then I present the right delivery. Okay, so for me that is a trick I was using to avoid lateness because I knew so much how lateness can make you on Fiverr. Okay, it can push you down the search results and it will be hard for you to get an order again. So it's a better risk, telling the client an untruth than falling late. Okay, and sometimes you don't even have to explain yourself to the client. Okay, you don't have to explain yourself to the client. Another thing about delivering good orders is if, and it ties into the next thing I come to talk about, which is tools to improve your work. If you are doing transcription, for example, or you are doing any writing and translation gig, you have to find tools online that help you proofread your work to make sure that it is of good quality. And for anyone who wants to do transcription, editing of essays, writing people's emails, you can download tools like temi.com for transcription. You can download tools like Grammarly to check your work, to inspect it and make sure that there are no grammatical or spelling mistakes. Okay, you can use all these tools to help you deliver a quality job. If you are a graphic designer, you can use tools online that will help you determine the quality of your work. Okay, you have tools that will help you measure all the angles and all of that to ensure that your work is of good quality. You can even reach out to friends off the platform to ask them to give an opinion on the work you have given. Okay, and this is important in the beginning stages because it's helping you get together that pool of clients that will never ever forsake you, no matter what the Fiverr algorithm does to you. So if you remember yesterday, I shared with you that because I was late for so many orders a few months ago, Fiverr has pushed me down the search results. So if you search for me on transcription, formally you see me on the first page. Now I'm on the sixth page or something, but slowly I'm coming back up again. I'm not too worried because I have been able to establish that client base, okay, of more than 30 clients that come rain or shine, they'll place orders with me. And that is what all these things I'm telling you today are supposed to help you do, okay, to capture that pool of clients, that loyal client base. Some of them, when I actually help friends sign up on Fiverr, I refer some of my clients to them. I tell them that, oh, I have this good friend, I've helped him join the platform and I'm helping him get orders. So I would really appreciate it if you could place the order with him instead of me. I think I did that with my sister, her first 5 orders. And many of them, because they have grown so attached to me, okay, they have become so happy with the kind of service I provide them. Even after going to place the orders there, they come back to me to still work for them. Okay, you understand? So that solid clientele, that solid client base is what all of these things I'm telling you today are going to help you achieve. It's very, 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 very important. So today, someone told me that he was having difficulty with Temi. how to use temi.com. So I just want to show you how to use it quickly, and then I'll jump to the last thing we are looking at today, which is customer support on Fiverr. So assuming you have an audio to transcribe, you go to temi.com. Now, mind you, Temi does not take more than 45 minutes of audio. So if you have any audio that is longer than that, what I recommend you do is find an online software that will split the audio into smaller bits for you, okay, divide it so that you then upload all of them to Temi one after the other. If you just Google audio splitting software, you get so many tools and they can help you. Jeffrey says, for transcribing, if say fixing a grammar error in a client's work means changing the structure of the sentence, do you proceed to change the sentence to make it grammatically correct, or you just transcribe the original speech for accuracy? Okay, so if you remember from last 2 days session, I showed you my transcription gig. It all depends on what you have offered the client. So on my transcription gig, you see that I transcribe verbatim. That is what is on the transcription gig, verbatim transcription. And if you want proofreading or editing attached, you will have to pay an additional fee. So if a client places an order and it is only verbatim transcription which you are offering, which means that you are not going to correct any mistakes, you are going to type exactly what it is you hear, okay? No grammatical corrections, no, everything you hear you type. If the client doesn't actually say, I would need you to fix grammatical errors, I'll need you to fix punctuation and those things, don't bother your head about it, because sometimes you do that and you actually offend the client. I remember one such occasion, I edited the work for the client to make sure that everything was correct, but the client got back to me very displeased, okay? The client was even upset that I removed and and those things that normally you're advised to take out of a transcript, okay? And I didn't understand why, but later the client explained to me that the transcribing was for forensic purposes, okay? It was part of an investigation in a court case, and they needed everything exactly as was heard, okay, for forensic purposes. And so to answer your question, it's important that when the client places the order, you kind of establish exactly what they want. Do you want a verbatim transcription as I am offering, or you want me to do a bit of proofreading and grammar checking and all of that as well? Okay, so that's a way to go about it. So we have temi.com. What you do is you select audio or video file, whichever audio or video you want to transcribe. Let me see if I have any here. So this interview with the psychiatrist called Harold, I'm uploading it into the software right now. Then I'm going to another browser to open a temporary email that I can use. So yeah, you can either Google temporary email, and then you look through the results that they give you, okay? I think normally I search for 10 minutes. 10 minutes temporary email. So we have 10minutesmail.com, we have 10minutesmail.net, we have 10minutesmail. There are different ones, okay? And I think the software gets intelligent as the days go by, because now 10minutesmail.net has been banned from the platform. So if you try using it, it will tell you that this user is not allowed. So what I use now is 10minmail.com. And what I want to tell you is that if you use any one and it's not working, just find another one and use it. Or if you have several phone numbers that you can use to create Google emails or emails on other platforms, Yahoo or whatever, you can create emails each time and then use them instead. So I'm going to copy this email, and once this is done uploading, this is what I'll do. Matthew says, with the creation of gig of C transcription, I saw the other options like proofreading, which have additional charges. Won't you see those requirements with the order, or you're supposed to ask the buyer? Yeah, some buyers are actually observant. They'll look through and they will decide whether they want those things done or not. Some won't look through, they'll just place the order. And so it's important to like confirm what exactly the buyer wants even after they have placed their order. Okay, even if after they have said, I want transcription with proofreading, and it's important that you confirm. I saw your order. First, you thank them for placing the order. Thank you so much for placing your order. I'm very happy to work with you. I'll let you know if I have any questions. I have seen your order. I've seen that you have requested for transcription with proofreading and whatever. I would like to confirm whether this is truly what you want. And if they say, yes, this is what I want, then you go ahead and promise them to deliver a good job. If they say, no, I understood something else by the order, then you try to clarify what exactly they understood. And then, so if you saw the audio I just uploaded was more than 45 minutes, so the software has rejected it. So I had to look for a different audio or video which is lower than that. And I think I'm going to use this one by Chadwick Boseman. It's an inspirational video. So let's use that one and see whether the machine picks it. Meanwhile, watch something about the temporary email. There's a clock ticking, and the clock ticking is telling you how much more time you have left to use that email. So if you allow it to get to 0 minutes, it means the email is no longer usable. And if you copy it and go and paste somewhere and you don't see any message in your inbox, you should understand what is going on. Okay, so the way to make sure that this email is always active while you are waiting for whichever message it is to press this, refresh icon or whatever. It will add more time. It will take the time back to 10 minutes and then start the countdown for you, so kind of giving you more time to work with the email. So since we had that delay, I have reset it to 10 minutes, and I'm going to wait for Temi to finish uploading Chadwick Boseman's motivational video. Bismarck says, for the email, I think you can buy a domain and create unlimited emails from it. For this, you can have access to any work you have worked on, no time for email expiring. That's actually a very wonderful idea, Bismarck. Thank you so much for sharing. I haven't tried it before. I'm not exactly sure how this concept works, but I see where you are going, and I can see, the potential in it. So this is extreme value. Thank you for sharing it with us. Okay, so once the audio or video is done uploading, the software will ask you, is your audio clear? Is the background free of noise? You click yes. Are the speakers close to the mic? Yes. Is the conversation clear without overtalk? Yes. Do speakers have clear accents? Yes. Okay, it's important to do this because you are going to aid the software to provide you a precise transcript, as prescribed as, so what am I saying? As perfect as possible, okay? So make sure that if the audio is clear, you take all of this yes. If it's not clear, take the ones which have no. Okay, yeah, actually helping the AI, the artificial intelligence. So what you are going to do now is you are going to post the email that you copied and you are going to send it. So they'll give you a confirmation notification. Check for a welcome email from Temi. Your transcript will follow in a few minutes. Then they give you a tip. Check your spam or junk folder if you can't find it. So what we are going to do now is we are going to go here and we are going to wait. You can see that they have sent the welcome email, welcome to Temi. So we are going to wait for the transcript itself. And usually depending on the length of the audio or video, the software is going to take a while to send the transcripts to you. If it's a very short audio or video, it should come in about 5 minutes max or 10 minutes max. And if it's a longer video, usually a bit complicated with different accents and all, it's going to take a longer time. And so you need to keep refreshing this to make sure that you still have time with this email, still have time for the software to send you the transcript. So we are still waiting. While we wait, you can ask any questions on what we have discussed so far. The maximum hours of an audio or video you can upload to temi.com is 45 minutes. Okay, it shouldn't be even 1 microsecond longer than 45 minutes. Otherwise, the software is going to reject it. So it should be always exactly on the 45th minute or below 45 minutes. Exactly. If it's longer, that is when you have to split it up. So while we wait, I just wanted to share that after yesterday's night session, something came to mind, okay, about another way. No, it won't affect the audio in any way, okay. At the end of the day, it's just the text you are interested in. So you have to, be keen and attentive to which point the first audio splits and which point the second one begins, so that you can then put the two together in the final Word document, okay. So it don't affect it in any way. So as you can see, our order is in. Temi has sent it, okay. Temi.com. And if you have been keeping track of time, it's actually been 10 minutes, more than 10 minutes, okay. So if we hadn't kept refreshing this timer to add more time, this email would have expired and the software wouldn't have had the opportunity to send us, the transcript, and then we'll sit there and we'll be waiting. So I guess this is the mistake of a lot of beginners, okay. They wait and wait and wait. So as you can see, Temi has transcribed your file. Click on the file name to view and edit transcript. So I'll click on the file name, and it will lead me to the transcript that the software has worked on. So the first thing I'll do is I will go up here. If the client has said that they require me to make edits and corrections and everything, I should remove M and R and those mistakes. The first thing I go is I come here. If you can see on my screen, there are 3 dots over here. I click on those 3 dots and you see remove filler words. Remove filler words is the M and R and L, those things in between when people are talking and they are pausing, and I say it a lot, and those things, that's remove filler words, and most people don't want it in the transcript. So you click on this. I don't think this transcript contains any, so you see that it's darkened, it's sort of faded because there's nothing for the software to remove. But just assuming there was something of the sort, that's the first thing I do. I click on that to remove the filler words, and then it will give me a new corrected transcript without those words. Then I begin to play the audio or video from the beginning and follow along with what has been written, and I correct any mistakes if I see them.
Across this yard on what seemed to be a random day, my head down, lost in my own world of issues, like many of you do daily.
I don't know if you can hear what he's saying.
I'm almost at the center of the yard. I raised my head and Muhammad Ali was walking.
But as he speaks, you listen and then you correct mistakes. I cannot hear because my mic is plugged in, so I can't hear. But generally, you get the idea. You correct the mistakes, you listen, you correct mistakes. In case the speaker is going too slow and wasting the precious time you have, you can come here below the audio or the video. Down here, you have speed. It's on the normal speed, which is 1x, okay? So if you want to make it faster, you click on it and then you increase the speed and it will go faster. Okay, because sometimes you get transcripts where the people are speaking like they have 40 million tortoises and snails in their throats. Movement and my friend, they are just going to be wasting time. So you want to speed things up so that you can get it done as quickly as possible. If the person is speaking too fast, okay, some of the white people, they speak as if they are pirates. You just can't get what it is they want to say. You can slow it as well so that the transcript slows the pace. You hear word for word exactly what they are trying to do, and you make the edits. So the moment you are done with this, okay, when you get to the end of the transcript and you are done, you refresh the page. Refresh the page to make sure that all the changes you made have truly been made. This is because the software saves all mistakes, all corrections you make. It saves them automatically. You don't have to press a save button anywhere. The moment you remove this question mark, you see up here, saves, all changes saved to 10 short seconds ago. If you bring it back, saved. So you refresh to ensure that all the changes you made have been implemented. Okay, if the thing hasn't saved, it will give you a warning before you refresh. If it gives you that warning, cancel it and wait for some time. Wait for your internet connection to be strong enough for everything to be saved, and then you refresh. Once you're done refreshing, sorry, you hit the download button. You hit the download button, and then if they asked you to include timestamps, you check the box and then you export. Okay, if they didn't ask for timestamps, you uncheck the box. If there are speaker names, I've seen someone has asked about speaker names. If there are speaker names, you include it. If there are no speaker names, you uncheck the box. Okay, and then you export. So let me answer this question. Ronald says, let's say we have two speakers. Do you need to edit it from speaker so and so to their actual name? It depends on the client. By default, you are supposed to use speaker 1, speaker 2. But if the client has given you the names of the speakers, then you have to use their names, okay? Sometimes you actually have to be proactive enough to ask them, do you wish me to identify the speakers by any particular names, okay? And then they'll tell you if they wish you to. If they don't, they'll tell you just use speaker 1 and speaker 2. So the way to do it is you go here and you have speaker 1. Now the software has identified in this transcript, it's the same person speaking, so you have speaker 1, speaker 1, speaker 1. But assuming there were two different people, you find out that the software would identify who speaker 1 is, who speaker 2 is. So you see it at all the stages. And if you have speaker 1 here and maybe speaker 2, then speaker 1 here, speaker 2, and you need to change all the speaker 1 to Thomas, and you don't want to go through the entire document and do that manually because that's going to waste your time, all you have to do is to hit speaker 1, tick this box to change all speaker 1 to, and then you put there, and then you put there Thomas, and to change all the speaker 1s to Thomas, okay? If it's speaker 2, you want to change speaker 2, you use the same thing. But always remember, after you have changed all of them to a specific name, you need to uncheck the box, because sometimes in the transcript you realize that a speaker will be cross-talking in what another speaker is saying, and then you have to separate it. So let's assume another speaker spoke over here. Say Sally spoke over here, or Ifwa, she spoke over here, and you needed to do that. Then you separate what she's saying from the rest of the paragraph, and then you label it Ifwa. Okay, but make sure that you unchecked that box first, because if you didn't uncheck that box, this is what is going to happen. After you do the new whatever, let's assume you didn't uncheck the box and you changed it to Ifwa, it's going to change everything in the document to Ifwa, and you have to reload the page, like reset everything and begin from scratch to actually correct that mistake that you have made. So always ensure that after you have labeled the speakers, you uncheck this box, okay? So this is one that I'm currently working on. Abigail is interviewing Stella. So you have Abigail, Stella, Abigail, Stella. And when I originally received the transcript, it was speaker 1, speaker 2, speaker 1, speaker 2. But what I did was I knew who Stella was, so I changed all the speaker 1 to Stella. And it reflected throughout the rest of the transcript. Wherever speaker 1 spoke, it showed Stella. Then all the speaker 2, I changed it to Abigail, and it reflected wherever in the transcript Abigail spoke, it reflected over there. Abigail, Abigail, Stella, Stella. So that's how to use this particular tool, assuming you are selling transcription gigs. And once you have downloaded the file, so this particular one doesn't have different speakers. It's the same chat with Ghostman who is speaking. So I'm going to uncheck include speaker names. I'm going to uncheck include timestamps, and then I'm going to export. And then you find very quickly the transcript will be ready. It's downloaded. So I'm going to go to Microsoft Word, and then I'm going to open. What about heading for the transcript? So that's what I'm going to show you now. I would have to open. No, downloads is in my downloads. I'll have to actually open the document that I downloaded. And the first thing you have to do is to enable editing so that you can correct the mistakes. And the first thing I do when I have opened the document is I click the heading and then I insert a page number. It's important to have page numbers on your transcript, so that sometimes when the client is telling you made a mistake here, I need you to correct it, there's a reference point. They can actually tell you the page number the mistake was made on. Then the next thing I do is I select the entire document and I justify it. Okay, I use 1.5 as my spacing. I increase the font size to 12 and I use Times New Roman. Then I change the language from English Ghana to English United States or English United Kingdom, wherever the seller was coming from. So Abigail is from the United States, so her English is American English. So I'm going to change the language to American English so that it can show me all the mistakes in the work. Okay, you can use Grammarly for this, but I mean Word works perfectly for me. So I have found, wow, so the software has actually seen no error in this work that has been done. Then I have a template that I use for my headings, okay, which I've been using for a long time. So what I do is I just go to my downloads to look at the past projects I've worked on. So this interview with Harold, for example, this is the heading I normally use. This is the sort of template I use. I copy it and I come to my document and then I paste it. Okay, so I don't know if you can see, but that's how my header normally is. I change this to the title of the transcript. So the transcript, the title of the video that was sent to me was Find Purpose, Chadwick Boseman motivational video. So I'm going to copy that and then I'm going to go here and I'm going to paste it so that it changes to the title of this. Then the next thing I do is I put there the number of minutes, approximately what minutes. Let's check. This is a 5 minutes 11 seconds video, so I'm going to put it there, approximately 5 minutes 11 seconds transcription. Then I give it a subtitle. Okay, so the subtitle is not really relevant. I just add it because I want some kind of style in my work. So I put the motivational YouTube video by Chadwick Boseman. Okay, and then I'm going to save it. So you can see the transcript is ready. Everything looks perfect. It looks neat. It looks well formatted. Okay, so I save it, and then the next thing I do is I come here to File and I export a PDF version. Okay, then I save this again and then I close the document. Sorry, I close the document. Then I come to the delivery page over here. Assuming I was to deliver this to Abigail, I'll hit deliver order, then I'll upload what I've worked on. I'll upload it. I'll add my custom message, change it to the first name so that it's personal Abigail Joel. Now another reason I use, why is there no speaker in Word? Because this particular document, if you remember, is just one person who was speaking, so I didn't include the speakers when I was downloading it. I'll show you another document, sorry, that had speakers, okay, and how I went about it. So what I was going to say was, another reason I include a PDF version of the transcript is that Fiverr is going to use that PDF as a portfolio sample. And if you remember from yesterday and 2 days ago, I kept stressing the need to provide samples to your clients. And if you are responding to buyer requests and you have these samples showing on your gig, okay, one good thing is that it enables the buyer to actually look through the work you have done to see whether it is you are capable, okay, whether or not it is you are capable of doing the work. So you don't have to actually manually be keeping, samples you have worked on. You don't have to be keeping files and files and files on your computer. Once you have uploaded the PDF version as well, it's just going to be on your profile forever, and it will be easily accessible to whichever client it is to look through and see whether it is you can do the work. Then when I'm done, I hit the deliver work button and I am done. Now let's assume the transcript I downloaded included speakers. I'm going to open one that I've worked on already. The interview with the psychiatrist Harold. So as you can see, I have the heading there, psychiatrist Harold. This was the name of the file I received, so I didn't change it. I put the exact thing there. I put the number of minutes, then I put the subtitle, which is an interview between Abigail Schreier, the interviewer, and psychiatrist Harold, the interviewee. And then what I do is that I bolden all the speaker names so that it's distinguished from what exactly is being spoken, okay, and it helps the reader have an easy time reading. And the way to do this, assuming that all of this was not boldened, okay, assuming all of this was not boldened, the way to do it is you come to replace up here, and then you find this box over here. If it's Harold you want to change, okay, you want to make every Harold bold, what you do without having to go through the entire document is to copy and paste this here. I know this is very elementary for some of you, but for those who may not really know how to work with Word, these are some of the tricks. And then you make the replacement bold. So if you can see, I can't expand this, but you can try and expand from your end. You realize that I have made the replacement bold, and then I click replace all. And it changes everything which is Harold and was not bold, it makes it bold, okay? And then I do the same for Abigail. And then it replaces everything. So that's how I go about, doing it. When you go through the entire document, you see that all the speakers are bold. Then I save the PDF version, and I save this one too, and then I close it, and then I go and submit. So that is how I use these tools in working with transcription. Trudy is asking, are the documents not confidential, or clients are okay using it as reference for a work? So it depends, okay? If it's confidential, you yourself will know, okay? If it's not confidential, the client will not mind, okay? So this is how you know whether it's confidential. If it is a meeting or an interview that has been done personally by a client, okay, that is confidential, and that one you're not supposed to add the PDF so that the sample doesn't show up, okay? But even if you add the PDF, Fiverr actually gives the client the freedom to choose whether they want that PDF to show on your sample. So I mean, once it's showing on your sample, it means that the client actually okayed it, okay? So if they didn't okay it, they wouldn't have chosen it, and it wouldn't be showing in the first place, unless the client was negligent and didn't read that and just accepted it like that. Then that one will be absolutely on the client. It's not your fault, okay? But then just add the PDF version so that you have that sample show up on your page, okay? Like I've said, if it's confidential, Fiverr will ask the client whether they want it to show on your page, and if they say no, it won't show. If they say yes, it's definitely going to show. But I was also saying that one way to know if it's confidential or not is if it has been done personally by the client, then you know that it's confidential. You shouldn't be sharing it all over the place. If it is a YouTube video that they ask you to transcribe, which I also get a lot, people will send me links to YouTube videos. They'll tell me, Joel, I need you to transcribe this for me, okay? Or they'll send me a link to some other page where there are public videos to transcribe. For that, you know that it's not confidential. You can easily share those files. Even to other buyers who require samples from you, you can still share those documents because they are actually public, information. Sharing it does not infringe on any privacy. And I actually have
an interesting experience, you have to keep your transcripts. Don't get rid of them, especially those that are from YouTube videos and from other sites that contain public videos and audio. Because I had one experience where a client placed an order from me, asked me to transcribe a series of videos from YouTube, and I did all of that, and I deleted them when I was done. And 2 weeks later, another client came to me and sent me the same set of videos to transcribe. So I thought it was the same client who was making a mistake, and I checked, but it was a different person. And I asked the person whether they were sure, and they said they were very sure they want that work transcribed for them. So I just went to my recycle bin, I recovered all those documents. I didn't even edit anything, it's the same thing. I just uploaded it and sent it. And the client was amazed, like had busted their minds. Like, the client was asking me, how are you able to deliver this in less than an hour? It's not possible. How were you? And the client was thinking that I put it through some software and I didn't edit, and so there'll be mistakes. The client went through and everything was perfect, but I knew my secret and I kept it to myself. So I'm sharing this with you as you work on transcripts, just assuming you are doing this, okay? Or whatever it is you are going to sell on Fiverr. Just keep all your work. Don't throw it away. Don't get rid of it. Keep it, because you don't know when it will come in handy again and help you, present an order very fast or get some 5 points for yourself. So what if they want proof of your work? How do you go about it? Ronald is saying, what if they want proof of your work? How do you go about it? That's what I'm saying. I said this yesterday or 2 days ago, okay? You need to gather a portfolio. You need to gather samples for yourself, okay? So now that you don't have any orders coming in, it will be a good thing to go on YouTube, get some videos and audio for yourself, take the initiative to transcribe them yourself, go through the formula I've taught you, transcribe them, keep the document. If you are responding to buyer requests, okay, and then they need you to provide samples, these are transcripts from public videos, so you can easily share it with them as samples of work that you have done, okay? Keep that portfolio, even if it's not transcription, if it's logo design, if it's something else, whatever it is, just take that initiative to gather a portfolio for yourself that you can use anytime the buyer requires samples from you or some sort of evidence of proof of work or something of the sort. I hope I've answered the question. All right, so the next thing we want to jump into is customer support. How to use customer support and when to use it. Now, if you're having any difficulties with clients, if you're having difficulties with your Fiverr gigs, if you're having difficulties with anything on Fiverr, please feel free to contact customer support. Don't contact me because I don't work with Fiverr and I don't know what exactly the issue may be. And this is why I say this. Sometimes there will be a reason for why your gig is not performing that you may not know about, but there are technical people who will be able to detect why and resolve the problem. There were instances where my gigs were not showing up in the results. I was not late for anything. Like everything, I was practicing everything correctly. And something just told me to report this to the customer support to check up on what was going on. And I did that. And they got back to me. They apologized. They said that it seems their system had a malfunction, and so it was hiding my gigs instead of showing them. So they refreshed everything, and in a few hours or minutes, my gig started showing again. Before long, I was on the first page and I was getting orders all over again. So it's important that if you have any difficulty, you reach out to customer support. They are very willing to help. They are very prepared to listen to you. If you don't have your passport to even verify your account, once you reach customer support, they can even extend your grace period. I think the automatic grace period is 30 days, but if you explain the situation to them, they are human beings at the other end of the customer support desk. They are not robots, so they will actually interact with you and help you with whatever problem it is you are facing. It's important that you always have this in mind. You may face difficulties even with particular clients. You want to report the attitude of certain clients, you can reach out to customer support. They'll ban them from the site. They will not come and worry your life again or worry anyone again for that matter. Okay, so that is what we have for today. I hope I have been able to share some kind of value with you. If you have any question, please feel free to ask. You can also reach out to me in my DM. Let me know. I know that I haven't gone over a lot of the seller accounts and gigs that some of you have sent yet because I have been so engaged, but I will try to go through and then help you to make sure that everything is all right. I hope that we are not in a situation where everyone is jumping in to be a transcriptionist, because I noticed that when I began transcribing on Fiverr, we were just 3 from Ghana, okay, myself and 2 others, and I was actually the only one whose gigs were selling. And then I did that video on Fiverr, how I made my first $1,000, is it $2,000 on Fiverr, and a lot of people were watching and they saw the gigs I was selling, and then everyone started creating transcription gigs, everyone all over the place. Now there are over 200 or so transcription gigs from Ghanaians alone. Okay, I wouldn't advise you to do that, okay, especially if you are going to be copying and pasting what I have on my gig descriptions and everything, because like I said, you are sending a bad signal to the buyers that you don't really know what it is you are doing. You are just trying to copy someone so that you make money for yourself. It's important that you go through the platform, find out what it is that you want to do, what it is that you enjoy to do. If it's transcription, well and good, feel free to work with transcription, but then don't just do transcription because someone else is doing transcription, or graphic design because someone is doing graphic design. Bloom wherever you are planted, okay? Bloom, blossom where you are planted. Yes, after this whole session is over and you have changes to make, you can definitely reach out to me, okay? I don't want this to be strictly like some sort of, you bought my course and after the course, case closed. I'm actually interested in your success, okay? I'm interested in that time when you will all be making so much money monthly on the platform. So feel free to reach out to me. Feel free to ask me for directions or help, even after this course, okay? I'm firm in my conviction that after a month of taking this course, a lot of you, if not everyone, will actively be selling your gigs on Fiverr. Are there any more questions? So yesterday, I was thinking about other ways of promoting your gig, and I came across a very interesting one. Actually, that is a strategy I use to promote my YouTube videos, but I felt like it may also be a good strategy for gig promotion. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the site Quora.com. Quora.com is a website where people ask questions on anything under the sun. Anything. Sometimes when you even Google a question on Google, you notice that they will be referring you to Quora.com for your answers. So what I do to promote my YouTube videos, which I believe you can do to promote your Fiverr gigs, is that if I'm creating a video on a particular topic, for example, how to create a PayPal account in Ghana, I go on Quora.com, I have a Quora.com account, and I look for that question to see whether people are asking, and then I create a response. And in my response, I add my video, okay? Quora, Quora.com. I create a response. So I say that there are actually easy ways of creating PayPal accounts in Ghana. I've done several videos on them, and you can check my videos out. And I leave a link to my channel or my video, okay? And the thing is that because so many people are looking for answers to that question, once they see it, they will definitely click to go and see whatever you are actually selling to them, whatever it is you have to say about the solution, and they will watch, okay? And for me, I think it's been one of the influencing factors for my channel's growth. And I have a feeling that that strategy can also be used for Fiverr, okay? You can go and answer questions. Maybe you are selling graphic design gigs. Go on Quora and search, where can I find the best graphic designers? And if someone has asked a question like that, go and leave an answer over there. There are so many sites you can find good graphic designers, whatever. Then go on Fiverr and pick like the best 2 graphic designers. If you are selling a graphic designer. Oh, Quora has blocked all links to Fiverr. Okay, don't worry. If you cannot add your Fiverr link, what you can do is to attach a Word document and say in your response that in this Word document, I have the links to several, platforms that you can find the best designers. So you can see that in this document, I actually have all the answers that you need. So feel free to use the document to search for the best designers. There's always a way to beat the platform, okay? If they want to block links, let them block their links. Once they are accepting documents, we use that. We are always using the system to work to our advantage. Never believe that a door is closed on you. That is a very bad mindset to have. Don't encourage it. If someone slams a door in your face, find a way to create another door somewhere and enter and buy the building from the person. Okay, never let people shut you down and prevent you from achieving what it is that you want. Okay, so what I do is that I go on Quora.com, and if, like I was saying, if you are a graphic designer, you are going to say that, well, I have so many platforms that I can suggest, and you find in this document links to some of the very good graphic designers. Then go on Fiverr, you select the best two, those who have like 5-star ratings and 1K of them, and then you list them in the document, and then the third person is going to be yourself. Okay, so definitely once they click the first one, they see the person is very good. They click the second one, they see the person is very good. What is going to come to mind naturally? That the third one is also going to be very good. So they'll click your link and then they'll land on your page, okay? And possibly they send you a message. It's the opportunity you have to make contact with them and then sell your gig. If you've written your description well, if you've written your title well, if you've sold your gig well, definitely they'll place an order with you. So, I mean, this also came to mind yesterday and I'm proposing it to you. You can also try it out. If more ideas come, I'll let you know, okay? If more strategies come, I'll definitely let you know. So, this is a family we're building. Yeah, there's always a way. There's always a way. Does anyone have any other question? All right, so in the absence of any further questions, I'm going to say good night to you and enjoy your weekend. As you know, my inbox is still open, my DM is still open. Feel free to fly in anytime you have a question or you have any problem. And once I see it and I have the time, I'll respond to you. You can also leave your questions in the platform that we have. I'll make a recording of this session available in the group for those who are not here or those who missed the session or those who were late, okay, so that you can use it and, you know, keep up to date with where we have reached. Tomorrow, we are going to look at conflict resolution on Fiverr. We'll look at some post-sales information. We'll look at the appropriate way to ask for reviews, handling client dissatisfaction, and then canceling orders. We've done a bit of it today, but tomorrow we'll just look a bit more into it. And then the following day, which is the last day on Monday, we are going to talk about hiring assistants, okay, how to turn Fiverr into a part-time or a full-time business. So hiring assistants, I told you at the beginning of the session that I have an assistant helping me with my Fiverr account. So I pay him. It's actually my employee. We're going to talk about job servicing. We're going to talk about getting paid, the different ways of getting paid, PayPal and Payoneer. We'll look at investing in new skills so that you can actually render more services on Fiverr. And we'll talk about promoting your success. Is it a good thing after you've made your first $10 or whatever? Is it a good thing to promote your success? We'll talk about all of that. And then we'll talk about one exciting thing, making money on Fiverr without selling anything. And that is more of affiliate marketing, okay? Using affiliate links to make money without even creating a seller account. So for those of you who might be interested, we'll look at that. Thank you so much, okay? Thank you so much for keeping me company, for being on today's session. And hopefully we'll meet tomorrow. Good night, guys.